Trials and tribulations are really something that help define us. They help, that they are the refining fire that helps us to become more like Elohim. And one of the scriptures that I'll use to reference, one of the things that I'll show, is in Hebrews 5, verse 7, talking about Yeshua, Messiah. In the days of his flesh, he offered up both prayers and supplications with loud crying and tears to the one able to save him from death, and he was heard because of his piety. Although he was a son, he learned obedience from the things which he suffered, and having been made perfect, he became to those who obey him the source of eternal salvation, which talks about us, that those that obey him. Well, we love our neighbor as ourselves and love God, Elohim, with all our heart, soul, and spirit. We follow the Torah, because that's what, like Yeshua said, on these two hang the whole law. But the point I was seeking to bring out is in verse 8. Although he was a son, he learned obedience from the things which he suffered. And that's how we are. We learn obedience from the things that we suffer. That's why trials and tribulations aren't necessarily a bad thing. And we learn to trust him. You know, the children of Israel didn't turn back to Elohim until he let them be subdued by their enemies for a time, until they cried out and turned to him. It happened over and over and over again, and there's a point where he says, let their gods hear them. Let them cry out to their gods. Let them that cannot hear or speak or see, let them deliver them. And one of the things that I talking about the fire, but this is the consuming fire, I believe, that is Elohim, which you read in the last chapter of Hebrews, that Elohim is a consuming fire. And here's where that makes, where I see that is in 1 Corinthians 3. According to the grace of God which was given to me, like a wise master builder, I laid a foundation, and another is building on it. But each man must be careful how he builds on it. For no man can lay a foundation other than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now if any man builds a foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each man's work will become evident, for the day will show it, because it is to be revealed with fire. The fire itself will test the quality of each man's works. Each one, I would say that's our anointing. Whatever isn't anointed will be burned up, because it'll become ashes, so to speak. Because Elohim is a consuming fire. So when he returns, whatever is not of him will be burned up. If any man's works, verse 14, if any man's works which he has built on remains, he will receive a reward. That's what the whole point of following Torah is about. And if any man's work is burned up, this is verse 15. Man's work is burned up, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet so as through fire. So there again, God is a consuming fire. When He comes, anything that isn't anointed will be burned up. So, and the refining fire, it's just like refining gold, silver. When it gets to a certain point, you can see your face in it, from what I've heard and what I've read. And that's one of the things. Will we be refined to the point where He could see His face in us? Shalom, shalom, and may Yahweh bless and keep you.